In a quiet town in Kerala, a housewife smiled sweetly as she served food to her loved ones. She was caring, respected, devout. And over 14 years, one by one, her entire family died. Each death tragic, each one ruled natural, each one believed until it was too late. This is the story of Jolly Joseph, a woman who hid murder behind grief, faith, and cyanide, and no one saw it coming. Jolly Amma Joseph, known simply as Jolly, lived in Kodathai, a peaceful village in Kozhikode district, Kerala. She was smart, educated, active in the church. She smiled easily, prayed regularly, hosted dinners for friends. To her in laws, she was the ideal daughter in law. To neighbors, the perfect wife and mother. But behind her soft spoken demeanor was something no one suspected. A plan years in the making, and it all began in 2002. On August 22, 2002, Jolly's 57-year-old mother-in-law, Anamma Thomas, collapsed after dinner. She had just eaten mutton soup, lovingly made by Jolly. Within minutes, Anamma was gasping for breath. She died before help could arrive. The cause of her death? A suspected heart attack. No postmortem, no investigation. It was tragic, but not suspicious. And so, life moved on. But death had only just entered the house. 6 years later, in 2008, Anamma's husband, Tom Thomas, also died suddenly. He too had eaten food made by Jolly. He too showed signs of choking, frothing, and rapid collapse. Again, it was ruled a natural death. The family grieved, Jolly cried, but her position in the house only strengthened. She now controlled the property, finances, and even the household decisions. Then, just a year later, in 2009, her husband Roy Thomas died. This time, it wasn't a heart attack. The autopsy showed cyanide poisoning, and yet the death was ruled a suicide. Why would a man poison himself with cyanide? The police had no answers. And Jolly? She claimed Roy was depressed, frustrated, and a failure, and they believed her. Over the next few years, Jolly continued to live in the same house with her in-laws' extended family, including Roy's cousin Shaju, his wife Saili, and their young daughter. But in 2011, tragedy struck again. Silly, just 32 years old, suddenly collapsed at home. Cause of death? Heart failure, they said. The pattern was forming, but no one wanted to see it. Not in Jolly, not in the woman who mourned with them, cried with them, prayed beside them. Then in 2014, another blow. Saju and Sheely's 2-year-old daughter died unexpectedly. Again, no investigation. And then came the most shocking part. Just a year after the child's death, Jolly married Saju, the man whose wife and daughter had both died under her roof. She claimed it was arranged by the family elders, that it was meant to bring peace and stability. But the whispers began. A pattern had emerged. Jolly cooked the last meal, the victim collapsed, the death was ruled natural, Jolly inherited control. She was the common thread in 6 family deaths. Still, no one challenged her until someone did. Roy Thomas's brother had long suspected foul play. He noticed that all the victims had died mysteriously, and all had died after meals made by Jolly. In 2019, he filed a complaint. Finally, 17 years after the first death, police began to take a closer look, and what they found shattered everything. When questioned, Jolly claimed to be a lecturer at the National Institute of Technology, Kozhikode. It was a lie. She wasn't employed. She had forged job documents. Her entire public image, the perfect wife, the educated woman, the grieving widow, was a lie. As police dug deeper, they discovered that Jolly had connection with a local goldsmith who had helped her procure cyanide on multiple occasions. When confronted, Jolly cracked. She confessed. She had murdered 6 family members using cyanide over 14 years. Each one served food, each one trusting her, each one poisoned to death. The motive: power, money, control. Jolly wanted ownership of the family home. She wanted to eliminate those who opposed her. She wanted the image of a woman who had suffered while orchestrating that suffering. She wanted to marry Shaju, and so she removed his wife and daughter. It wasn't passion, it wasn't rage, it was cold calculation. Jolly wasn't a woman who snapped, she was a woman who planned. Jolly Joseph was arrested in October 2019. Her trial is ongoing, but the evidence is damning. 6 bodies were exhumed. Forensic reports revealed traces of cyanide. India watched in horror as the woman they once pitied turned out to be the orchestrator of one of the most methodical mass murders in the country's recent memory. She smiled in court, calm, composed, just as she had been for years. The house in Koratai stands empty now, a place once filled with love and laughter turned into a silent tomb, all by the hands of one woman. Cyanide is a poison known for its speed, but Jolly Joseph didn't kill quickly. She killed slowly, carefully, one meal at a time, one trust betrayed at a time. And perhaps that's what made her story so terrifying. Not just what she did, but how long she got away with it. If you found this story chilling, subscribe for more true horror, real crimes, and forgotten history. What case should I cover next? Drop your suggestions in the comment below, but remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened.